Hi again everyone and welcome back. So I'm doing a video today with more examples. So in my previous video I went over some basic trigonometry and today we're going to answer a question together. So I've got to draw my triangle. So let's do this together. It's like an alright triangle. Okay, maybe not, it looks like a hut. So obviously we've already discussed what trigonometry is in our last video, but in this video I just wanted to go over why it's useful. So obviously I'm an engineer. Well, I'm a student engineer, but even in engineering I still use trigonometry. So trigonometry is one of those subjects that you really do kind of want to get it down. Obviously it's not something you're going to use in everyday life, but a lot of maths kind of tie onto you. Obviously know the basics, they do build upon it in future years. So yeah, obviously it's not one of those subjects that's going to help you in everyday life, but depending on what career you choose to go into, it would be useful to you. But if you're a school student at the moment, then you're just going to have to suck it up and learn the subject, especially if you want to pass your exams. So good luck and stay strong because you're going to need it. Or maybe not if you watch my last video. So yeah. Right, so for this question over here, it's asking us to calculate the sine of this triangle here. In my previous video, we went over what you need to do before you can solve a question. So here's our triangle. So step one is to identify which side is our opposite, which side is the hypotenuse, and which side is the adjacent. So here's our angle. Now, like we said in the previous video, look for the side opposite the angle. In this question, it's this side here. So as this is the side opposite to the angle, this is our opposite. Now in the previous video I told you to identify the hypotenuse next, which is always this slanted side as it is the longest side. So this one here is the hypotenuse. So we've got the opposite, we have the hypotenuse, and the final one left must be the adjacent. Right, so the question asks us to work out the sine. So like I told you in the previous video, we need to remember SOHCAHTOA. So we've got SOHCAHTOA. So we have SOHCAHTOA over here, and to work out the sine we're using this portion of the phrase. Now to work out the sine, it is always the opposite over the hypotenuse. Now back to our triangle over here. The opposite is this side here and the hypotenuse is this side over here. So calculating the sine, so we must have 6 over 8. Don't mind, I have been told a few times that I do have messy handwriting, but no one's perfect, so let me live. So anyway, back to the question. So we have to work out the sine. So a star of the show featuring a calculator, not sponsored by Casio by the way. I paid £8 for this, so if you don't mind sponsoring me, I wouldn't turn it down. Anyway, back to the question. Sorry, I keep getting distracted, you know how it is. So we need to work out the sine. Calculator, you just need to press shift and sine and brackets will come up. So in the brackets you write 6 over 8, close the brackets, and the answer is, are you ready? Oh, accidentally deleted the answer. Okay, take number 5, 6 over 8, and that is 48.5903, okay that's not, it's 48.59. And there you go. So this angle here equals 48, sorry, whoops. So 48.59, and if you wanted to round this up, this would be 49 degrees. Whoop. So congratulations on getting through your first question. Keep watching for example number 2. Right, so now we're going to move on to example number 2. So this question, it asks us to calculate the cosine of this triangle here. So always remember step 1, which is the opposite, the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So this is the angle that we are working out. So the side opposite to this angle is this side here, so this is the opposite. Checkmate. Now, which side is the slanted side? The hypotenuse is always the slanted side, so this side here is the hypotenuse, and the side left over must be the adjacent. Now, the question here asks us to work out the cosine. Now, to work out the cosine, it's this portion of SOHCAHTOA. Now, when you want to work out the cosine, it's always the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now back to our triangle here. The adjacent is this one and the adjacent is 4. and the hypotenuse is this side here, and that equals to 11. So to work out the cosine, it is 4 over 11. Now back to our calculators again. We missed you. Anyway, so you press shift. This time you press cosine. Don't press sine like we did last time because obviously it's a different question. Now again, it opens up the bracket, so it is 4 over 11 and press the equal sign. And the answer this time is, oh my gosh, 68.67631374. Need a revision break after that, so 68.68, we're going to round it to 9 or 69 degrees, depending obviously on the requirements of the questions. So always remember this is step 1, and then you need to refer back to this for step 2. We're just going to talk over another example. So hypothetically, if this question asked us to work out the tangent, it would be the exact same, except the only difference obviously would be the section on SOHCAHTOA that you'd be using. So if it asked us to work out the tangent, we would be using this part here. Now if we wanted to work out the tangent, it would obviously be the opposite over the adjacent. Now the opposite here is 6, whereas the adjacent is 4. So for the tangent, that would be 6 over 4. So if you wanted to work out the tangent, it would be shift and tan, and for the tangent that would be 6 over 4. So hypothetically, in this case, if we were working out the tangent, that would be 56 degrees. So I thought I'd share some trigonometry jokes with you, so hope you're excited, because so am I. Right, so why did the triangle go to the beach? Because it saw a sign that said it was a great place to tan. You know what, it's the thought that counts. Let's try again. Why did the students like their trigonometry teacher? He never gave homework assignments, as in assignments. What's my life? So thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new. Bye! Oh, and so please like, comment, share, subscribe. See ya, bye! So if we had to work out the sine, how would we know what sides we needed to use?